It was a pretty ordinary night in Philadelphia until a flash of green and blue shot across the sky, which were none other than the Green Zap and Bluejaye racing to a power plant caught up in the battle between Thoom and Apex. Thoom was a supposed hero just like Apex, Bluejaye and Green Zap, but a couple months ago, out of nowhere, he started picking fights with everyone, declaring them all to be villains, which Apex just so happened to be the latest hero to stand up against him, being blasted in the chest with a beam of concentrated electricity by Thoom. Lucky enough for him, Bluejaye and Green Zap are here to help him out. At first they foolishly charge at him one after each other, which each one of them got sent packing as quickly as they got to Thoom, but the trio strategizes, attacking with a coordinated strike that Green Zap uses to send Thoom into a random African jungle where he can be a menace unto himself for some time. Taking a moment to relax for a little, Bluejaye asks Apex to share a little on his backstory with them, as it was the first time they have crossed paths with him in the city before, and he explains that he comes from a future where some sort of cosmic wave or force swept across the earth and stripped all the heroes of his time of their powers, which led to a group of villains from his time going forth and massacring about 5.5 billion people in the world. Apex was a member of one of the few colonies of humans left in his time, who figured out a way to give him an assortment of powers to create the ultimate hero, the apex of mankind, to be humanity's last hope. With his power, Apex was able to round up all the villains of his time and put them on an isolated island, so they will no longer be able to hurt anyone else on the planet. Apex then led a great restoration effort in part of North America, creating a settlement dubbed as New Providence. Unfortunately, it was discovered that the same force that wiped out the powers of all heroes decades ago was fast approaching, and this time it was believed that it would wipe out the remaining humans left on the earth. In hopes of saving humanity from certain doom, Apex was sent back in time by the people who gave him powers in hopes that he would find and be able to stop whatever caused the wave in the first place. They aimed to send him back only 1 year before the date of the first wave, but due to the machine being damaged, he was trapped in a time stream and ended up an entire decade before the event instead, leading to where he is now with Bluejaye and Green Zap. After hearing such a story, Bluejaye states that it makes him think even harder that he got his power to serve an even greater purpose than he first imagined. But until that day comes, they will continue to do all they can to ensure that good prevails. Elsewhere at the True Power Church, as Reverend Lincoln Henry just got done with conducting a service, scripture appears to him with the intel regarding the Eye of Atlantis, a powerful gem that two of the city's villains are currently searching for, and he needs Lincoln to help him stop them, who is also known as the hero Oath, ready for the task. Apex, after the battle with Thoom, Bluejaye and Green Zap, went back to his private base in an old airfield he bought with the money he came back from the future with, and though he is grateful for it, he expresses how lonely it feels, which ironically leads to him finding 2 stray puppies as soon as he gets inside. The next morning, he flew with them to the nearest pet store to pick up some food for them, and he meets a little girl named Samantha who was a bit fascinated that a hero walked into the pet store, asking him why he came in, and also letting Apex know that it was her birthday and her parents was going to get her a dog as well. In his little conversation with Samantha, Apex even named the dogs, which he decides on Poncho and Moncho or Macho. But as they spoke right outside the store, Thoom and the villain Atomic were causing a rampage in the streets, leading to Apex confronting them head on. But as he stepped out of the store, Samantha ran behind him to give him the pet food he left behind, landing herself right in the trajectory of an energy blast from Atomic that hits the store, causing the awning to fall down on Samantha and her mother had it not been for Apex gravity powers and flying over to save them. But in saving them, he opened himself up to an easy attack by Thoom and Atomic. But before they can finish him off, Oath flies in and stops the blast. Knowing that they are short on time, Atomic flees to search the area to find the Eye of Atlantis, telling Thoom to handle them. Thoom then brawls out with Oath, buying Atomic some time until he reports that the Eye is nowhere near them and they should flee, with Thoom vowing that he will deal with Apex and Oath another time. When they get far enough away from Oath and Apex, Atomic recalibrates the gem key, believing that the heroes have the other one and are also searching for the Eye of Atlantis just like them. After the gem is recalibrated, it points them towards the chemical plant, which Atomic is thrilled about as he has a score to settle with someone there. Back at the pet store, Apex thanks Oath for the save and asks Oath to fill him in on what Thoom and Atomic were looking for. Oath explains that they are searching for the Eye of Atlantis, and he has a friend that will lead them to it before Thoom and Atomic are able to get there. They just need to be patient, which Apex isn't too fond of. After 10 minutes, Scripture appears to them, urging them to go with him quickly and be ready for battle as he takes them to the chemical plant, which is under siege by Atomic, who's holding up one of the workers, declaring that he will kill the man for taking everything away from him. So with that, let's put Tales of Power issue 1 on our Christian fiction judgment scale. For the story, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. By Paul Bell, it was actually a lot of fun to read through. I really like the character interactions between, well, everyone, especially Apex and Samantha. That was a lot. That was really well done with his conversation with Samantha leading into the fight scene with Atomic and Thoom. Thoom is a funny character name. Kind of curious on what they will do with Apex in the story, especially with all the time traveling elements of his backstory, which often tends to get a bit murky, but I am hopeful. For the most part, this issue was pretty solid. I also kind of find it funny, especially while scripting the video, that one of the characters' names is Scripture. So throughout it, you hear me saying Scripture told them, when in reality it is not a Bible, but it's like a character named Scripture, which is kind of funny to me while scripting this video. When it comes to artwork and creativity, this issue is a 3.5 out of 5 on our scale. With credits to Carlo Grade and Khadija Lohio, I like the character design for the most part, especially for Oath and Scripture's design. Those were the best in my opinion. The fight scene between Green Zap, Bluejaye, and Apex and Thoom was pretty well illustrated and was my favorite panel of the entire comic. I mean, it kind of made it onto the thumbnail. When it comes to the theological basis, which refers to how well Christian principles are adapted in a piece of fictional work, this issue is a 0 out of 0, as compared to the prior 2 issues of the Asprey books that we've covered. This doesn't have anything theological to assess. Like, yeah, there's a character named Scripture with a cross on his knee pads and on his chest, and there's a Oath is a pastor, and he got up and went superhero in right after he finished his church sermon. There isn't really much for me to really assess theologically. I mean, I really want to know how they're gonna continue to handle it with a character like Apex, who comes from a future where 5.5 billion people wiped out and they sent them back in time to kind of fix whatever happened. I kind of really want to know how that would work out theologically in the future. But that's just for me to figure out in future issues. Lastly, with the final category of my recommendation, it's actually a 4 out of 5. It was actually a lot of fun to read through, and I did like the pacing of it a lot when compared to the other 2 issues. Bluejaye issue 2 was pretty good compared to issue 1, but this one was actually the most fun I've had covering a comic in a little while. I mean, granted, I lied, because I had a lot of fun covering Calvary Academy issue 2. But yeah, this comic, out of what I've covered of the year, or at least since summer, has been the one that I enjoyed a lot more, to say the least. Overall, Tales of Power issue 1 gets a 3.6 out of 5 from the Xplanations. If you enjoyed the video, then why not consider leaving a like on it and subscribing for more reviews and coverage of comics made by professing believers. If you enjoyed the video to the point you want to check out another one on the channel, then be sure to click the card at the top right hand corner of your screen to check out our other Asprey comic reviews if you haven't already, or check out this video that YouTube is recommending next.